ushaka uthi ngumlilo othathe ubeke ngakithi ngivumele mgajwa ngihole umoya wondwandwe oyophendula umlilo kaShaka ubuyele kuye sengithathe isinqumo.
Hello everyone, welcome back to ASR, African Stories Realized. This is our weekly review of Shaka iLembe Season 2. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Episode 8 picks up in Oyengweni, with Shaka and his Zulu army dishing out retribution to the Ndwandwe men who were sent to invade the Mthethwa capital following Dingiswayo's passing. Shaka tortured Zwide's best friend, Kricha, before burning him and the rest of the Ndwandwe men alive. He then turned his attention to Nolujo, the Ndwandwe spy who had been working with Somveli. He left him alive to deliver a message to Zwide that he will burn Gudungomu and everyone in it. What followed was something out of a spy thriller, as word arrived that the Mthethwa men who had left for war with Dingiswayo were returning with Ngomane. Somveli, who had just been installed as the Mthethwa king, began to panic, warning Shaka not to trust his uncle Mondisa, claiming he was after the throne. An inquisition ensued, with Mondisa revealing everything he knew about Somveli's treacherous ways. Somveli tried to deny his part in his father's demise, but his servants supported Mondisa's claims, revealing that Dingiswayo had banished Somveli from Mthethwa before leaving for war. Somveli tried to justify his actions, but Shaka and Ngomane had no mercy, with his former Nduna, Ngomane, finishing Somveli off. His body would never be found, and the kingdom was spared of the news of his treachery. A heartbroken Shaka then took a moment to shed a tear by the ocean, apologizing to the Mthethwa ancestors for not being able to help Dingiswayo. Shaka then went on to offer his condolences to Dingiswayo's mother, promising to avenge her son. However, she questioned why Shaka was not there to support Dingiswayo in his last moments, demanding that no war be declared until the Mthethwa king's body was returned. Mundisa was installed as the Mthethwa regent and a mourning period was observed. However, Dingiswayo's mother refused to mourn her son until his body was returned. She and other Mthethwa women camped outside Gudungomu, requesting the return of Dingiswayo's body. Upon returning to Guanobamba, a paranoid Shaka confronted his mother for trying to turn him against his mentor, revealing that her counsel made him drag his feet when Dingiswayo sent for support. Shaka made it clear to Nandi that he would no longer allow her to dictate her decisions as a king. The Zulu maiden, Leanne, was then summoned to Shaka's hut, where he inquired on his grandmother's health before the couple slept together. However, afterwards, Shaka rejected Leanne, sending her away, revealing that he did not want her to make him weak. Meanwhile, Skwinyana and Mthethwa finally arrived in Ngwane, where her people cared for her. However, Skwinyana soon revealed that he had to return home to Ndwandwe, where they would most likely kill him for his treachery. In Ndwandwe, Soshangane revealed to Zwide that their ambush on Shaka and his men failed after the Zulu army never showed up. Word soon arrived of Shaka's massacre at the Mthethwa capital, with Nolujo delivering Shaka's message to Zwide. Nomahlanjana then returned with the bodies of Nyengelezi and the men that he killed. Zwide's goblin brother, Goloza, grieved over the loss of his servant, with the queen mother failing to console him. Zwide then confronted Nomahlanjana for abandoning the ambush on Shaka and his men to chase down his wife. With Zwide reprimanding Nomahlanjana for driving her away with his abuse. However, Nomahlanjana was able to redeem himself when he found out that King Donda was the one who warned Shaka of the Ndwandwe ambush. Zwide wasted no time confronting the traitors. Despite Mzilikazi pleading for his father and uncle's lives, Donda admitted to the treachery before the Ndwandwe men were ordered to finish them off. With King Donda and Mzilikazi's father Mashobani gone, the Kumalo throne fell to a heartbroken Mzilikazi, but Zwide warned him that if he ever betrayed him, he would meet the same fate as his father and uncle. Zwide then had a meeting with Nomahlanjana, who was still trying to get back in his father's good graces. Zwide revealed that he had decided to march on the Zulus, and the episode ends with Nomahlanjana volunteering to lead the Ndwandwe men against Shaka's mighty Zulu army. Today's episode was a great follow-up to last week. The first 30 minutes of it were peak television, with Mgabai's narration guiding us through the aftermath of Dingiswayo's passing. I really loved how the episode flowed, with Shaka and Zwide taking center stage, and it looks like Nomahlanjana will go toe-to-toe with Shaka next week. I like how they're developing Shaka's paranoia over women, especially after hearing how the Ndwandwe princess bewitched Dingiswayo. I also think he pushed Liana away because he feels that she was sent by his mother, who he's lost trust for. And like I suggested earlier in the season, there might be a pregnancy storyline in the works there. We're witnessing the beginning of Shaka's ruthless streak, and Lemohang just keeps growing into the character, especially because we hadn't seen much of him in the last episodes. He really shone today. Finally, Somveli was caught, and his uncle Mondisa had all the receipts. He has slowly been gathering evidence, and I believe he may have already briefed Ngomane on their way back to Mthethwa. I think Shaka also already suspected him, which is why they spared the Ndwandwe spy who had been working with Somveli, and somehow he already knew that he was a spy. So I believe that he had enough information to suspect Somveli, but he just needed confirmation. Dingiswayo's mother never liked Shaka, so she was going to blame him regardless. But he did admit that he stalled when the Mthethwa king asked for support. But if we're being honest, Dingiswayo was already in the grip of Ntombazi's dark magic. I did give context into Mzilikazi earlier in the season. Historically, he was actually Zwide's grandson. Mzilikazi's father, Mashobane, was married to one of Zwide's daughters, Nompethu. And it is said that Zwide actually killed Mashobane for abusing his daughter. And we did see a glimpse of that side of Zwide when he disciplined his son for abusing Mthethwa. The loss of Mzilikazi's father and uncle will ultimately result in his defection to the Zulu kingdom. I believe him and Shaka will have a similar relationship to the one that Shaka had with Dingiswayo, with Shaka mentoring the young Khumalo king. With 4 episodes left, I think I know where the season will end, with the conclusion of the Ndwandwe and Zulu war, leaving us with a fresh slate for the final 3rd season. There is also the storyline about the Gwabe throne, so I don't know if there's going to be enough time to get into that this season, but yeah, it remains to be seen. Shaka iLembe has been a masterpiece so far, and I think it really deserves some international recognition. Big up to the cast and production once again, and the director Zeno Peterson. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week with another review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is ASR for the love of African filmmaking and storytelling.